Hello, Sonia here with your spiritual lesson of the week. So if you can tell, my surroundings are a little different than they usually are, and that's because I am visiting my mom in Paris. If you've been following me, you know that I lived here for over a year and moved sort of unexpectedly at the beginning of the year to New Orleans because my boyfriend had work in the States, and it just made more logistical sense to be stateside instead of having to have him travel back and forth. And the interesting thing that I found about being here is it's very easy to get nostalgic. You know, walking around these streets, there's a part of me that gets tinged with this, the romanticism of Paris and everything in my life that I loved here and all these different things. So it brings me to the topic of this week's video, which is to really pay attention to where we wear rose-colored glasses in looking at the past and how that takes away our ability to look forward into even the present and even to what's next. You know, being romantic or even thinking about things that made us happy or wonderful past times is a beautiful way to fill our cup, but in another way can be a place where we unconsciously get stuck, and that can cause interference with our own intuition, our own ability to get guidance. Because in some part of us will want to return to something that once was, which again sort of takes away from the magic of being able to look forward and connect to the new experiences and even look at the beautiful garden that's growing right in front of you. You know, for me, having spent a big 6 months, which has been a really big learning experience for me, which is code for there are 10 times where it's totally sucked. But it's also been a really important part of my soul growth. And I just want to ask you, if you're in a period of your life in which you're in a lot of growth, how much time or energy do you spend looking backwards? Whether it's a job or a time in your life or a relationship, and how much of that is grounded in reality and how much of that is sort of that rose-colored glasses. And then the next question that I want to ask you and how to ask your intuition is, what is next? What are the things that you want to build next? How can you take the gifts from that time and the lessons from that time and apply them to the present to really help let your garden grow? You know, the interesting thing, and one of the things that I was talking about last week very clearly, is that intuition needs direction. We need somewhere to point. We need somewhere to go. And we have a goal in mind. That's when we become available to guidance. It's like having a destination on your Google Maps. And when you have a destination to your Google Maps, you know exactly where you're going turn by turn and can be available to the support of the universe. But if you keep changing the directions or even keep putting a direction to something that's already passed, it's not gonna happen. It's gonna cause confusion. It's gonna cause you feeling ungrounded. It's gonna feel like you're disconnected and like you don't know where you're going. And so a few really quick tools that I want you to even pay attention to is, even if you're having any struggle of looking at the past or even just of acknowledging the past, first of all, what are your accomplishments? What are the magic things that you have created already? Because that is also really beautiful, just fertilizer for our dreams. Really fertilizer for our own self-confidence, to believe not only ourselves but our power and recognize that we really do have, you know, the divine that flows through us if we're guidable. Second of all, and really it's again celebrating your achievements, and then really again planting those seeds of what is next. What is the magic that I want to create? Is it a relationship? Is it a job? Is it more joy? Is it more space? Is it and look at concrete examples of your past. Don't get into the story of it, but just places where you can anchor that in as of, what did I learn? What was my lesson? What was my soul lesson? And it's really important even when we look at things that are maybe not that comfortable. And third of all, what are the gifts of your present? What are the magical things that your intuition, that yourself, that your spirit has brought you to this moment right now? You know, oftentimes we forget to look at the garden that's growing right in front of us, instead of paying attention to the garden of the past or imagining the garden of the future, instead of like, what are the beautiful things that you've cultivated in this moment through your own intention, intuition, and the decisions. And then make a promise to yourself that you're gonna make decisions that are in support of what you want. And these can be very little things, even if it's just 5 minutes of meditation in the morning, or a decision every morning to check in with your spirit, or even just being available to listen to your intuition. There's small changes that make huge, huge, huge differences. So that is my spiritual tool of the week. Basically, do not pay too much attention to the past. Don't get caught up in that space, because it will be like a little energy vampire of the past. So yeah, thank you. If you are needing help or support, don't forget to book a reading with me. Get clear on your soul purpose, give you gifts, what your gifts are, or who you are in present time, and how to get you moving right now so that you don't get stuck in those same patterns, that same place. If you're struggling, you get somebody's struggles on really focusing on the past, book a reading so we can get you really clear on your future and the grounded steps to be able to create not only what it is that you want, but reconnect you with back who you are. And you can do that by going on my site, soniatully.com, and booking a session with me. And I super look forward to connecting with you. I just am sending you all my love. Happy creations. Share them with me. I love hearing from you. And I'm sending you all my love. Bye.